Welcome to What a Mystery YouTube channel. Today's story is one of ominous, mysterious tales. Hope you enjoy. In the dying light of a summer evening, Sinclair Manor loomed like a brooding sentinel over the landscape, its darkened windows staring out into the gathering dusk with an air of silent menace. Inside the grand foyer, shadows danced along the walls, whispering secrets of long-forgotten days and hidden truths that lay buried beneath the surface. Detective Jameson stepped across the threshold, his footsteps echoing hollowly in the cavernous space as he surveyed the scene before him. The air was heavy with the scent of age and decay, mingling with the faint aroma of old wood and faded memories. At the center of the room lay the body of Mr. Edward Sinclair, patriarch of the family and lord of the manor, his lifeless form sprawled upon the polished marble floor like a discarded puppet. His eyes stared blankly at the ceiling, devoid of the spark of life that had once animated them with fiery intensity. Beside him stood Mrs. Beatrice Sinclair. Her eyes met Detective Jameson's with a mixture of fear and defiance, as if daring him to uncover the truth that lay hidden behind the facade of decorum and respectability. "I'm sorry for your loss," Mrs. Sinclair, Detective Jameson murmured, his voice barely more than a whisper in the oppressive silence of the room. "But I'm afraid I'll need to ask you a few questions about your husband's death." Mrs. Sinclair nodded, her gaze never leaving Detective Jameson's as she struggled to find the words to express the turmoil that churned within her. "Of course, Detective. Whatever you need." With a nod of acknowledgement, Detective Jameson turned his attention to the body of Mr. Sinclair, his mind already racing with possibilities and conjectures as he sought to unravel the tangled web of lies and deceit that surrounded the manor like a shroud. And so, as the last rays of sunlight faded into darkness, the investigation into the death of Mr. Edward Sinclair began in earnest, plunging Detective Jameson into a world of shadows and secrets from which there could be no escape. As night descended upon Sinclair Manor, Detective Jameson found himself ensnared in a web of intrigue and deception that seemed to tighten with every passing moment. In the dimly lit corridors of the estate, whispers echoed off the walls like the ghostly murmurs of the past, hinting at secrets long buried beneath the surface. With each step he took, Detective Jameson felt the weight of the manor pressing down upon him, suffocating him with its oppressive presence. Yet he pressed on, driven by a relentless determination to uncover the truth that lay hidden amidst the darkness. In the grand drawing room, where the air was heavy with the scent of old leather and faded memories, Detective Jameson questioned the members of the Sinclair family, probing for clues and inconsistencies that might shed light on the mystery that had brought him to this place. Each member of the family seemed to harbor secrets of their own, their faces a mask of stoic indifference as they offered vague alibis and half-truths in response to his questions. Yet Detective Jameson sensed that there was more to their stories than met the eye, and he vowed to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. As the hours passed and the night wore on, Detective Jameson delved deeper into the shadows that surrounded Sinclair Manor, his mind ablaze with possibilities and conjectures as he pieced together the fragments of the puzzle that lay before him. And so, as the moon rose high in the sky, casting its pale light upon the darkened windows of the manor, Detective Jameson continued his relentless pursuit of the truth, knowing that the answers he sought lay hidden amidst the secrets that lurked within the shadows. In the stillness of the night, Detective Jameson found himself haunted by the whispers of the past that echoed through the halls of Sinclair Manor like the ghostly remnants of forgotten dreams. As he paced the dimly lit corridors, his footsteps echoing hollowly against the polished marble floors, he felt a chill run down his spine as he sensed the presence of something malevolent lurking just beyond the edge of his perception. With each passing moment, the sense of unease grew, gnawing at the edges of his sanity like a ravenous beast. Yet he pressed on, driven by a relentless determination to uncover the truth that lay hidden amidst the shadows. In the library, where the scent of old books mingled with the faint aroma of decay, Detective Jameson pored over the clues that littered the room like pieces of a macabre puzzle. His brow furrowed in concentration as he sifted through the evidence, searching for the elusive truth that lay hidden amidst the pages of forgotten tomes and faded manuscripts. Suddenly, a glimmer of recognition sparked within him, illuminating the darkness with a blinding clarity. With trembling hands, he reached for a worn, leather-bound journal tucked away on a dusty shelf, its pages yellowed with age and stained with the passage of time. As he flipped through the brittle pages, he stumbled upon a passage that sent a chill racing down his spine. Words leapt from the page in a frenzy of madness and despair, hinting at a darkness that lurked just beyond the edge of reason. It was then that Detective Jameson realized the true nature of the evil that had taken root within Sinclair Manor. With a sense of dread that threatened to consume him whole, he raced against time to confront the malevolent force that had claimed the life of Mr. Edward Sinclair and threatened to destroy everything in its path. As Detective Jameson delved deeper into the secrets of Sinclair Manor, he found himself ensnared in a labyrinth of fear and uncertainty that seemed to stretch endlessly before him. Shadows danced along the walls, whispering tales of terror and despair as he navigated the dimly lit corridors in search of the truth. In the grand dining hall, where the air was heavy with the scent of old wood and faded memories, Detective Jameson confronted the members of the Sinclair family, their faces pale and drawn with fear as they struggled to come to terms with the horrors that had unfolded within their midst. Each member of the family seemed to harbor secrets of their own, their eyes darting nervously as they exchanged furtive glances and whispered conversations. Yet Detective Jameson knew that the truth lay hidden beneath the surface, waiting to be uncovered by the probing gaze of his relentless scrutiny. As the hours passed and the night wore on, Detective Jameson unearthed clues and revelations that sent shivers racing down his spine. Cryptic messages scribbled on the walls, hidden passages concealed behind false panels, each discovery brought him one step closer to unraveling the mystery that had brought him to this place. And so, as the moon hung low in the sky, casting its pale light upon the manor's darkened windows, Detective Jameson continued his relentless pursuit of the truth, knowing that the answers he sought lay hidden amidst the shadows that lurked within the haunted halls of Sinclair Manor. In the depths of the night, Detective Jameson found himself teetering on the brink of madness as he confronted the horrors that lay hidden within the darkest recesses of Sinclair Manor. Shadows writhed and twisted like living things, whispering tales of death and despair as he stumbled through the labyrinth of fear that surrounded him. In the bowels of the estate, where the air was thick with the stench of decay, Detective Jameson discovered the truth that had been lurking in the shadows all along. A hidden chamber concealed behind a false wall, its walls adorned with symbols of ancient evil and madness, a shrine to the darkness that had claimed the soul of Sinclair Manor. As he gazed upon the horrors that lay within, Detective Jameson felt a chill run down his spine, as he realized the true nature of the evil that lurked within the heart of the manor. With a sense of dread that threatened to consume him whole, he knew that he must confront the malevolent force that had taken root within Sinclair Manor and put an end to its reign of terror once and for all. As dawn broke over Sinclair Manor, casting its golden light upon the blood-stained walls and shattered remnants of a once grand estate, Detective Jameson stood eye to eye with the evil force that had brought death and destruction to its hallowed halls. With trembling hands, he reached for the ancient tome that lay open upon the altar before him, its pages filled with dark incantations and forbidden knowledge. With a sense of grim determination, he began to recite the words that would banish the evil that had taken root within the heart of the manor and restore peace to its haunted halls. As the final words echoed through the chamber, a blinding light filled the room, illuminating the darkness with a brilliance that seemed to pierce the very fabric of reality itself. And in that moment of clarity, Detective Jameson knew that he had succeeded in his quest to confront the darkness that had plagued Sinclair Manor and put an end to its reign of terror once and for all. With a sense of relief and exhaustion, he collapsed to the floor, his mind reeling from the ordeal that had brought him to this place. Yet amidst the chaos and despair, a glimmer of hope shone like a beacon in the darkness, reminding him that even in the face of unspeakable evil, there was always hope for redemption and renewal. In the aftermath of the harrowing ordeal that had unfolded within the walls of Sinclair Manor, Detective Jameson emerged from the depths of darkness, battered but unbowed, his spirit tempered by the trials he had faced. As he surveyed the wreckage of the once grand estate, he felt a sense of bittersweet triumph mingled with a profound sadness for all that had been lost. The Sinclair family, now free from the grip of the malevolent force that had held them captive, gathered in the grand foyer, their faces etched with relief and gratitude as they gazed upon the dawn of a new day. Mrs. Beatrice Sinclair stood at their head, her eyes brimming with tears as she thanked Detective Jameson for his courage and determination in confronting the darkness that had threatened to consume them all. Yet amidst the sense of closure and resolution that pervaded the manor, there lingered a palpable sense of loss for all that had been sacrificed in the name of justice and redemption. The echoes of the past whispered through the halls, a reminder of the price that had been paid to banish the darkness that had plagued Sinclair Manor for generations. As Detective Jameson bid farewell to the Sinclair family and stepped out into the light of a new day, he knew that the scars of the past would always remain, etched into the very fabric of the estate itself. Yet he also knew that in confronting the darkness that had lurked within the heart of Sinclair Manor, he had not only saved the lives of its inhabitants, but had also reclaimed a measure of peace and redemption for himself. And so, as he turned his back on the haunted halls of Sinclair Manor and set out into the world beyond, Detective Jameson carried with him the knowledge that even in the face of unspeakable evil, there was always hope for renewal and redemption, and that the light of truth would always shine brightest in the darkest of times. Thanks for listening to one of our favorite stories from What a Mystery YouTube channel. Please like, share, and subscribe for more murder mystery content.